Hello folks and welcome to another Premodern video. Today we're going to be looking at probably the coolest new card on the block, which is an oldie but a goodie, like such a classic card. So I'm really excited to give it a shot in a different shell that I've been thinking about. Could be a good concept. So we'll see. We'll figure it out together today. We are of course talking about Quiet Speculation. This card has been picking up a lot lately in the Quiet Speculation Oath deck, which I think is quite good. And the idea is to have access to a little bit of a toolbox aspect to a mid-range deck. So we are using, Ray of Revelation against the very popular enchantments that we see nowadays, and Volcanic Spray, which is a super cool addition. This allows us to do pretty well against elves. It also sweeps up the enchantresses and cards like that. So it's a really, really good card to have access to, thanks to Quiet Speculation. And then, of course, we have some Call of the Herds and Deep Analysis in order to round things out. I was thinking that an interesting shell to do something like this would be something similar to Gro-a-tog. So I think that Weather Wayfarer plus Gush is not played, they're not played together enough for my taste. Like, this interaction is actually quite strong and you don't see it really that often. So I was thinking that I wanted to try out this card kind of like was a good one to kind of like blend everything together, because this kind of deck in the past has tended to be a little bit underwhelming. So by doing this, something like Gro-a-tog, because of Quirion Dryad being your threat, you really need to have a bunch of cantrips and a way to dig through your deck. So instead of doing that, we're going to a Weather Wayfarer package with, of course, Mox Diamonds, which again is what God has access to, and a little bit, like some Wastelands and a couple of Lair lands to round things out, as well as Undiscovered Paradise, and then some Gemstone Mana and fetches. So we do have access to 10 islands for Gushes, which is definitely on the low side, but we do have access to some portents to look up your cantrips. So we have some selection, and then Weather Wayfarer obviously is going to be able to find your islands if that's what you need. Then we have threats in Call of the Herd, Meddling Mage, obviously still the best creature in the format in my opinion, and then Mystic Enforcer is the one that I were trying. It may be a little bit too clunky, it may be a little bit too thick, to put it somehow. I think that it has some potential, and the other option was something like, well, to play Quirion Dryad, which I don't think would be particularly good because we don't really have any velocity in this deck. Nimble Mongoose was the other threat that I consider, but that just seems just straight up underpowered. It just doesn't seem like it does enough. So if your goal is to actually close the game, Mystic Enforcer seems like it may be the best alternative in terms of finding the threat that can end the game quickly. So 6/6 Flyer is kind of nice, and it works very, very well with like Armageddon and Spread Spec, and of course, Wayfeather plus Wasteland and Mox Diamond. So all of those cards contribute very, very nicely to Threshold, so it shouldn't be that hard for us to enable it. And then having access to a 4-mana 6/6 flyer is not terrible. Then we have some counter magic and some Source of Plowshares as interaction, which is just straightforward, and we are a deck that can very, very well support Armageddon. So we have a couple of copies of it in the main deck and a third one in the sideboard as well. Speaking of the sideboard, we have one more Spray, one more Ray, one more Call, one more Deep Analysis. These are all of the flashback cards that we really care about. Anything else is just kind of like, they're just not strong enough to be considered, I don't think. You can do like Grisly Fate and stuff like that if you wanted to really go deep. But I think that these are just like the best ones. You could do something like Roar of the Worm, but like that card is, if you ever draw it, like it's effectively a dead card. Like there's no going back. So like you're just never going to reliably make it to 7 mana to actually cast it. So I feel like just playing another Call of the Herd is the best alternative, unfortunately. Then we have some Annuls and an extra copy of Counterspell, Hydroblast, Blood Elemental Blast. I'm pretty scared of the red decks. It feels like they're gonna run us over fairly quickly because we have a bunch of cards that we want to side out, like Mages and Wayfarers. These cards suck against all the red decks. And then Phyrex and Furnaces, I'm super big fan of this card. I think it's just basically every deck should have it these days, especially against opposing Quiet Speculations deck, to be fair. And then finally one Disenchant, Lonesome Disenchant in there to go alongside the Annuls to actually answer, resolved the artifacts that our opponent may sneak through our counter magic. So this is the deck we're going to be trying out. I have not played any games with it. This is all theory crafting, which that's kind of like how it often goes in this channel. I just like to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Sometimes it sticks, most of the time it does not, but hopefully you are still enjoying it. If you are, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and of course you have access to my Patreon in the link down below if you want to support me, and let's play some matches. Here we go, it's time to cook. Sure, I'll keep this hand. What could go wrong with this hand? Turn 1 Wayfarer. What's my opponent gonna do? How do they even win? So my best draw is What a mox. Treetop Village. So I guess I play Flooded Strand, pass. So if my opponent plays a second land, I can fetch, hold priority, activate Wayfarer. Would love to dodge a Oath of Druids. Mock, probably bad for me. Library, that sucks. That really sucks. They're not gonna play a land. Gosh, that's nice, because that's a way for me to circumvent. Like I'm now allowed to portent. Mox Time and Red's Grove. Sure. I think I'll keep these, especially with the Armageddon. Let's swing, because obviously this turn I cannot do anything here, so I'm gonna do that. Angash is actually gonna work out for me. So next turn I just get to deploy the Mox and just not do anything. Opponent somehow does not pay 8 there, which I'm surprised by. Second Mox, that sucks for me. Thermokarst, you got me. Let's play Mox because I'm probably gonna have to counter another Thermokarst. Let's get in there with Wayfarer. Not super excited about the upcoming Mox. Maybe it's fine, because I have Geddon. Maybe this is just okay. At least when my opponent has no Oath, I kind of remain in this game. The second an Oath shows up, then things get very tricky for me. Treetop Village. Just plow here? I don't think so. I think I just take the hit. Still not doing anything here. Eventually I'm gonna find an island. Meddling Mage would be kind of a nice draw. I'm not sure if this status quo is bad for me. Yep, that's why. That is exactly why this status quo is not bad for me. So now I just chill. I pass the turn and I activate Wayfarer, my opponent's end step. I love how we can do everything here. So now we float to... Gosh. Effectively we counter the Thermokarst. That resolves. Now as in my opponent needs to actually start deploying stuff. Because now my Wayfarer is online. So now they have to start playing out lands. They can't just sit around any longer. So let's activate Wayfarer on end step. Guess I'm gonna take a Wasteland. Untap, play a Gemstone Mine. Guess I'm gonna discard this. Play a Mox, I meant. Discard the Gemstone Mine. Actually, I'm gonna play an island here. We still get to activate Wayfarer. Then this card on end step, I guess I'm gonna pitch this Flooded Strand. We get to activate Wayfarer again. Counter whatever they play. Just untap Angeddon. I mean, they do still have 2 Mox in. Just no joke. Would love to find a threat. Maybe this deck should be playing some amount of foil for this kind of situation, so I can get him plus foil. So I could let this go, save the counter spell for later. I guess there's no real reason. Let's take another Wasteland here. I guess there's no real reason to give them 8 life. The problem is, what are my Swords of Plowshares doing otherwise? Yeah, I think we just have to plow. This gives my opponent 2 more cards with the library, which I don't love. But the problem is, I think I need to answer a potential Oath of Druids. I need to save counterspell for Oath. So I think we play out a Wasteland here and pass the turn. I don't think I should have discarded the Volcanic Spray instead of the land. I gave my opponent 1 more life for no reason, and Volcanic Spray is literally dead in this matchup. That resolves. Instead, we just draw another land, take another Wasteland, might as well. Call of the Herd. Let's cast the call. So now we have a threat. This is super bad if my opponent draws an Oath exactly this turn, but for whatever reason, they did not pay 8 last turn. Maybe I'm overextending for no reason. I don't know. Wasteland doesn't do anything. There's the Oath. I could plow my own Wayfarer and just play to deck my opponent, which is kind of an interesting thought, actually. Don't think I hate it. Let's get, I guess, Undiscovered Paradise. Like, it doesn't really matter what I get there, I think. Do I plow my own dude? The problem is, that's a terrible draw. The problem is if I don't plow... Oh, I just Volcanic Spray it. That's actually much better. Yeah, that's much better. So let's play Gemstone. And do I want to draw 1 more? I mean, it's going to go to this card, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Pass the turn. Really banking on my opponent not drawing a Natural Ice, honestly. Mishra's Factory. Definitely gonna take this hit. Another Factory without pumping the first one. That's interesting. That's a pickup. Alright, so let's get on this turn. And then we're gonna play Undiscovered Paradise and pass the turn. This is kind of an interesting game. So my goal here is to find 2 more Swords to Plowshares so that I can kill both of my opponent's Terravores and then leave them with no win conditions. Wasteland. You got me. Natural Ice would suck here. That's really the only thing. Second Oath, doesn't matter. Untap. Guess I play out an island as I go. We're also gaining a non-zero amount of time equity. We're definitely gaining some clock equity. Winter's Grass. Maybe that's a reason to having played out the Gemstone Mine last turn. Deep Analysis. Okay. That's gonna be pretty good, actually. I guess Fear we have to care about. Forgot that Fear is a card. Yeah, so now we use the counter spell. Untap. Another Call of the Herd. Let's draw some cards here. Quiet spec. Doesn't it even have any targets left? There's one Call of the Herd. Oh, the Ray. We still have the Ray of Revelation. Thermocars, the Wasteland. But I kind of don't want to throw away the Ray of Revelation. I kind of want both sides of the Ray. Land. Let's still cast the spec. We're definitely taking the call. Yeah, I think I have to try to draw the Ray of Revelation so I can get rid of both Alpha Druids. And my goal is to kill my opponent with Mystic Enforcers. Another Sphere. Yeah, we do have to care about that one. Opponent should be much more aggressive with how they're drawing cards. Deep Analysis myself. Draw 2. There's a Mage. No Ray of Revelation, unfortunately. So I need to get to the point where I go Ray, Oath, play Mage, name Oath. And that's how we win the game. The other alternative is to have enough Source to Plowshares that like my opponent just runs out of Terravores, which means I need to draw one more Source to Plowshares. Portent is nice. Hey, look at that. That's the one I'm looking for. Okay, so no shuffle. So we're gonna do top the island, top the strand, top the ray, no shuffle. I'll play out the wasteland. I guess we do have to worry about Pyroclasm. Opponent's still not drawing with library. Second library doesn't matter. Okay, we have a game plan now. Blow that up, flashback, blow that up, untap, draw, strand, go get an island, play Medley Mage, we're gonna name Oath of Druids, and then we're gonna cast Call of the Herd. Not playing out the Wayfarer because my opponent can find Pyroclasm, but I definitely want to play out the Elephant token. Opponent doesn't pay, which makes sense. There's the Pyroclasm that we just talked about. So we swing for 3, down to 8. Now we gush first, draw 2. That's a nice one. So I was gonna flashback call and then play the Weather Wayfarer, which meant the Volcanics play was lethal next turn. But obviously, having drawn another Medley Mage is spectacular, right? And now Call of the Herd, flashback. This is lethal. We want to play out the Wayfarer. I can play out the Wayfarer off the Mock. Once again, runs into Pyroclasm, but I guess if my opponent plays Pyroclasm, they're dead on board, so that's fine, I guess. So if they find Terravore, I plow, they gain a gazillion life, and then I slowly attempt to grind them down. The good thing is that Oath of Druids doesn't do anything anymore. I guess they can... No, they can't pay life. Oh, they did pay life. Well, now they're dead on board. So even now, if I was going to say they need Terravore and Oath, but if they now play Terravore and Oath, I just swing with my idiots and... Oh no, they go to 1. No, that's right. They go to 1 and then I just flashback Volcanic Spray. Okay, so yeah, it's all part of the plan. What's my opponent doing? Earthquake? Is this Earthquake? For 3. Earthquake for 3. So opponent goes down on 1. I flashback Call of the Herd. Oh no, I just flashback Volcanic Spray. Easy. Easy game, easy life. Don't even need to worry about when it taps my island. Flashback Volcanic Spray for lethal. That was pretty cool. On to next game. I do like this enchant. Second Ray sounds great. Mystic Enforcer. Is Mystic Enforcer just actually reasonable here? Definitely want this ovens. Cut the Volcanic Spray. I want Deep Analysis. Wayfarers are cool. Calls are okay. They trade with treetops. Maybe counter spells are a little bit weird. Get-ons are fine. Maybe 2 Deep Analysis is one too many. Nah, it's fine. It's got a Portents. I don't think I want Portents against this Fear deck. Melee Mage sounds okay. It's kind of bad against Oath of Druids, but my plan is to answer Oath of Druids with a double Ray. I'm not trying to circumvent it. It's got a Mystic Enforcer and Wayfarer is sick. Just leave the Miser's counterspell. Maybe I should cut a land. Honestly, I should probably just cut the Enforcer. I think this is just... I mean, Enforcer wins in the air. I don't think that's how the game's gonna play out, however. This has been cool. Game was very nicely navigated. This seems fine. Turn 1 port into Mock. Turn 1 library. Strong start. Would have loved to have drawn a Mox there. That would have been very exciting if I had found the Mox there. My opponent should snap pay 8 here. They already saw what I'm playing. They know that my deck is super dirtily. They should snap pay 8. They don't pay anything. The Grasp of Winter. So now Diamond, pitch this, play this out, Ray of Revelation right now. Should have paid 8 while you had the chance, opponent. Should have paid 8. Naturalize my land, my Mox. That sucks, certainly sucks. Let's eat some of my graveyard. Land would be a great draw. Perfect. So I think we quiet spec here. We're gonna find probably double deep analysis. And do we want the other array? Yes, we want the other array. And I think I'm gonna exile my land right now. Send the turn back. Call of the Hearth. No other land, by the way. So let's deep analysis myself. Quite nice. So play Automox, pitch plains, play Wayfarer, activate Furnace, say go. So now we can do the Wasteland trick, which is very exciting. Gonna take 3 from this elephant. Very acceptable. If they play a land and flashback the elephant, maybe forces my hand a little bit. No, I guess it doesn't, because I don't even need to do any tricks. I just do the thing. Nice pickup. So now we're gonna do whole priority, activate Wasteland on the port, activate Wayfarer. We get another Wasteland. I mean, I guess I really want to flashback and blow up the Sylvan Library, right? So do we just get Undiscovered Paradise? Red's Grove is the other option. Or Treva's Ruins. I think I like Undiscovered Paradise better, because I already have another land drop. Let's get Undiscovered Paradise. That gets blown up. Ray of Revelation. Destroy this. Do the thing. Pass the turn. Now we're gonna cast the call. Do I want to cycle this Furnace, or do I just keep chipping another library? No, I'm just gonna keep doing this thing. It's a nice draw. So that means I can now name Oath of Druids, play Paradise, flashback Ray, swing for 1. Pyroclasm. It's actually really annoying. It's not the end of the world, but it's very annoying. Now we have a choice. I think I'm just gonna play out the Call of the Herd. The problem is if my opponent has a Terravor. Actually, the Terravor is kind of tiny, so this feels fine. Next turn we can flashback our own Call of the Herd. They attack with Treetop. I definitely traded with the Treetop. Shout out to this Phyrexian Furnace, doing some pretty good work. Defense Grid. Yeah, that one's not it. That one's definitely not it. We do have to be a little bit wary of Oath of Druids now. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's quiet spec for both of the calls. And now we're just going to flashback deep analysis. Send it back, obviously. I'm just gonna spit out some elephants now. But yeah, Oath of Druids is potentially a problem now, because it prevents me from actually getting a hit on board. Naturalize my Mox is quite annoying, not gonna lie. Source to Plowshares, alright. Oh, now we're gonna go over after my own graveyard. Pass the turn, opponent offers the trade. We will take it. There goes that. Fear of Resistance. Annoying but manageable. Would love to find something like a Gush or something. Let's play the plane. So now we cannot actually source the Plowshares, which is very annoying. Treetop gets in there. Man, that Pyroclasm. We have Portent in the deck, so there's no reason to fetch. Untap, Meddling Mage. So I guess if my opponent has something like... Oh, I should have flashed back the call. I mean, yeah, that was bad. Because now I'm dead to Wasteland, right? So I should have just flashed back the Call of the Herd. Definitely got lucky there. Doesn't look like my opponent drew a Wasteland. Another Defense Grid. Well, I guess Call of the Herd it is. Call number 1. Next turn, do we Meddling Mage? I guess we need to name Oath of Druids, like right now. And they showed me Earthquake and Pyroclasm. I have to assume they have more Pyroclasms than Earthquakes. Geddon. So that's a very interesting line. So I Geddon, opponent goes down to 1 card and 1 mana, and they get locked under their own sphere. Okay, I'm into it. Lay out the Furnace, and I guess we might as well continue cooking with this. So now let's see who draws a land first. I'm gonna cycle Furnace, I think. Beat a land or whatever. That's an island, that's cool. I know I'm not gonna do much this game. We're playing the Elephant Dream game. Black Vice! Oh my god. Oh, that was awesome. That was very awesome. Okay, game 3. Setup seems okay. Maybe I want another Call of the Herd. Man, Black Vice, that's a heck of a way to go. Maybe cut a Deep Analysis? No, Deep Analysis is just great. I don't think I want to cut on any of my cards. All of my cards are fantastic. Maybe Meddling Mage is a little bit medium. Let's cut a Meddling Mage. Black Vice, man. Yeah, there's no way I could have seen that coming. Let's be honest. There's very few cards that my opponent can actually cast in that context for only 2 mana, which is all they have access to if they find the land. And I guess it was Lightning Bolt. I'm Black Vice. They're, I guess, shock or something like that, but they're not. It's impossible they have any of this. But even Earthquake, it would have cost them 3 mana to deal me 1. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, this I'm gonna have to mulligan. This one's okay. I think do I bottom deep analysis here? Nah, that's crazy. Let's not be silly. I'm just gonna bottom the Rg Grove. Kind of awkward that my white source is the Trevas Ruins. No Moxen, also no bueno. No Moxen, no bueno. I think if my opponent plays a treetop on turn 1, I wasteland, but anything else, I let go. Opponent moves to 5. Yeah, there's the treetop. Especially when my opponent moves to 5. Obviously, wasteland is good later in the game when I can do some Wayfarer tricks and whatnot, but if they play the treetop on turn 1, like maybe they don't have a basic, because if I were my opponent and I have a basic, I would have definitely played it on turn 1, since playing a 2-drop is so important. Oh, they just had a Mox. I guess they did have a basic. They also have a library, which I don't have an answer to, which is very unlucky. Wayfarer go. Man, I really would have loved to have found an annul at some point. I don't think I play out a second Wayfarer. Opponent just doesn't pay life, huh? So as to Plowshares my own dude? Is that the way? I guess so. I mean, I definitely should have attacked first. So my goal now is to somehow naturally hit my land drops and be able to cast these deep analyses. So my opponent never finds a land destruction spell. Why are they not paying life? I'm going crazy over here. Quiet Spec is a nice pickup. Unfortunately, both of my deep analyses are in my hand, so let's get both raise and a call. Only problem now is that my opponent knows to pay 8, because it's face up. They only pay 4. And my opponent is just, they should be a lot more aggressive with Sylvan Library, especially if they have the Winter's Grasp. Well, it's time for the waiting game now. Remember when I bottomed that Rg Grove? Remember when I bottomed that Rg Grove? I don't think I can afford to activate Oath of Druids. Whatever I'm flipping is worse than a Terravor, so to blow up the library, so I can't afford for that to continue going unchecked. And I guess next turn I am going to trigger, and I'm gonna hope that I find a creature before this Terravor gets too out of hand. But I'm a little bit too far behind now, so I need to get a little bit lucky. Unless they blow up my land. Call of the Hearth. And treetop. Yeah, this is spiral land out of control rather quickly. Okay, so we do trigger. It's a Meddling Mage. That's gonna name Oath of Druids. We have to draw something good. Phyrexian Furnace. Alright, let's go Furnace. Exile my land. And I guess I exile their Call of the Hearth. Another Meddling Mage is not great. That is not the way. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Down to 3. We get lucky again. We draw. Wow, no attacking with treetop. That has to be a mistake. So I'm gonna chomp now. I feel like they should have attacked there. Unless they have another Terravor in hand, in which case, obviously, we're super dead. Maybe I was supposed to blow up the Oath and hope that... Nah, there's no way. That doesn't work. I mean, nothing works here. We're a little bit too dead now. The problem is I have no... Like, my deck is just... I cut the Mystic Enforcer, right? Enforcer is like the only thing that can potentially help me stabilize. Yeah, okay. We got God in the end. That was a really fun match, though. That was a really, really fun match. All right, see you for the next one. On to the second round. What do we got here? Okay, let's keep this. A little bit of a mediocre hand. It is doing something. Let's see what we're up against. Basic Island. All right, let's play the Plains and pass the turn. Skycloud Expands. Terrible draw. Whatever Skycloud Expands means, very bad for me. So let's go with Wasteland. I'm gonna go Trevas, bounce the Plains, and I'm just gonna cast Call of the Hearth here. I feel like whatever we're up against, we're gonna need a clock. Whether this is Replenish or something else, like blue-white control of some sort. Power Sync? Is this Tron? Maybe he's playing Tron. That'd be pretty sick. I'm gonna play out the Metal Mage. I need to get on the board here. I really need to get on the board. I think I named Wrath of God with this. Miscalc? I don't understand what's going on. Play Wasteland, and we're just gonna keep throwing threats at him. He's been countering everything, so I'll say that he definitely will not expect this turn again. I'll tell you that much. It is Tron. There you go. Portent. Ported myself. Okay, I think I like these cards. Bottom, top, no shuffle. And let's get in there. And I'm just gonna, I guess, Wasteland him on upkeep. Or if they tap some mana, I'm just gonna Wasteland him right now. Miscalc Cycle. Wasteland. Teferi's response? We're countering Teferi's response for sure. Yeah, that's nice. We managed to exchange that response very nicely. Chromatic Sphere. No land drop, notably. Thing we swing and we get him. He has to counter this. If he doesn't, we're gonna be in really good shape. If he does, then we can just like set up for next turn. He's cycling, so he doesn't have it. Okay, there you go. So now we're gonna be ahead. There's a Ray of Revelation. So this guy is good. Now he needs to find white source into plow. Otherwise this elephant's gonna do some work. Ah, I f6. Hope that come back to bite me, because this is literally a dead card. Should have fetched like right away. Really need to find the land here. Yeah, he's got the plow. Very annoying. Oh man. Oh no. Am I gonna die with this quiet spec in hand? Okay, cool. So island. And I'm actually fetching here instead of playing because I'm very interested in not getting destroyed by natural ice. So we're gonna get all of our flashback cards and send it back. So Gush is my best draw. Anything that is not Gush we don't like. So I think we go for Deep Analysis. Nothing, huh? Alright, oh, I should have discarded the Quiet Spec. Has literally no targets. Oh, he can't grab the egg, that's hilarious. It's Portent first, looking for some lands. Ritz Grove, and all of this is delightful. I want it all, and I want it now. Catch my drift? Yes, all of these are great. So let's go top, no shuffle. Now we're gonna play Mox, because I want to hold up Counterspell and send the turn. Next turn, we're gonna draw Wayfarer. Have Counterspell back up. Is the Fair of the Way. Drawing a land, which is a Ritz Grove. If my opponent does play another land, then I'm going to be very interested in... Actually, they probably have Plow here. Do I counter Plow? Yeah, I think I do. He may have another one, which would suck, but he only has 2 left in the deck. Oh, he does hit main phase. Okay, cool. So now, I guess we flashback call here. I feel like I need to get aggressive. This is gonna make me very, very sad if I find... Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't need to do this. I was gonna say it's gonna make me sad if I find the Gush, but like I didn't need... I already have 4 mana. Yeah, I didn't have to do that. That was a pretty bad mistake. I honestly just miscounted Strand. Does Strand matter or anything? Swing. And I'm gonna... No, I'm not gonna flashback the call. Yeah, just hold back, Counterspell. He cycles, Impulse. I get owned by Wrath of God otherwise. He has 1 Source of Plowshares, probably I assume 2 Wrath of God. And I want him to Wrath so that I can counter. Masticore. Yeah, it's just lethal. I was thinking, oh, do I just plow that and swing? I'm like, no, he's literally at least at 3. Which literally dead on board, so maybe not do that. Alright, and also we like Counterspell. We like Volcanic Spray, we do not like. Guidance and Deep Analysis. Disenchant, Call of the Herd. Actually, we do like Volcanic Spray because my opponent has the cycling thing. I don't care about Ray. My opponent probably has the, what's his name? Humility. But past that, I want to cut the Source to Plowshares, but I want to have Volcanic Spray for Decrease. Just as a one-off that I can tutor with Quiet Spec. Maybe Enforcer sucks. It just gets plowed. Could just have it as Enforcer, better than Meddling Mage number 4. Do kind of have to respect Masticore for what's worth. So I think I'm gonna leave the 1 Mystic Enforcer and cut 1 Meddling Mage. I don't even know what I'm naming with Meddling Mage, I guess Source to Plowshares and Wrath of God. Notably, Blue-White Tron was one of the decks that I considered playing today. I think that deck is pretty underexplored. I would do some drastic things to it though. Like main deck 2-3 Sabbath. Well, I mean, Sunny was main deck into Fairy's Response, right? Which I did have the counterspell for, so I don't need to be wary of that. But I would main deck, instead of the Fairy's Response, I would main deck 2 to 3 copies of Sabbath's Web. The problem with this previous game was, I guess, that he didn't find the Source to Plowshares in time, so he was forced to waste counter magic on my like stupid Call of the Herd. I think he prohibited Melee Mage, if I remember correctly, which is obviously terrible for him. That's an absolute waste. Let's see what you got, Sonny. Land Portent. It's basically Splinter Twin. And Gush too. Stands the dream. A darker waste. Portent myself. Looking for another land. A land, I guess, technically speaking. I'm gonna be okay with this, I guess. And I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm just gonna play Quiet Spec next turn. I could just Portent again, which maybe is the way to go. There's the Sabbath's Web. Quiet Spec for Deep, call. Any order is fine. And send it. I mean, if he has the natural Tron, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Portent myself, looking for a land here. Those are great. So no shuffle. Really hoping to dodge him having a natural Tron here. Oof, pretty close. Now we are in kind of decent shape. We got a green source on top. Impulse is fine. Could have traded for Impulse actually. Maybe I should have traded for Impulse because of that. Maybe because of that I should have traded for Impulse. Play a land and say go. It's gonna cycle. I guess I can just hardcast this deep analysis actually. Means I only discard one card, hopefully I find the Mox. But I feel like I'm really far behind now. I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch back up. Just cycling Decree, that's a lot of tokens. Okay, so let's go to our next game. Maybe I should have countered the Impulse. Like it's so weird. But at that point I'm like crazy far behind, right? So next game. I think this looks fine. Like Mystic Enforcer looks heinous. So I think Melding Mage is gonna come in. I don't think I want second Volcanic Spray. Though maybe I should have it. My goal is for my opponent to simply not have. I'm gonna, like, just what happened last game. Like, if my opponent ever gets to Tron, the game just ends. I can definitely not keep up with that. I feel like my hand was kind of okay. On the play, this is not a good hand. Let's ship it. This one I like. I do like this hand quite a bit. Do I just Wayfarer on one and just Wasteland him to death? Yeah, let's put on the Portent. So Wayfarer, and I'm gonna play this first to see what he does on one. The problem is if I go for Undiscovered Paradise immediately, then we're gonna be in a spot where if he has Plow, then I'm actually quite far behind. Yeah, he does have the Plow. So I cannot. So now I'm forcing the Plow out of his hand with this Meddling Mage. So I'll attack him first, obviously. So now he has to Plow the Wayfarer. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, so now we're gonna be cooking. Because now I can use Undiscovered Paradise to deploy. And because his first land was a Plains, he's not gonna be able to get under the Wayfarer, which is cool. Tron land. Web. Gemstone kind of sucks here. So let's go Quiet Spec for Deep Analysis. Call Deep Analysis, I guess. We're not gonna be able to activate this turn, but we can actually activate following turn. If he plays any land, which he kind of has to. And there you go. So I'm just gonna get a Wasteland and I'm just gonna Flooded Strand. Like I do need to have UU for this counter spell. I'm gonna start Wastelanding this turn. Because if my opponent has Wrath, then they actually kind of send me back to the Stone Age. If they don't do anything, I'm going to use this Flooded Strand to get one more Wasteland next turn. Gemstone Mine, untap, activate Wayfarer, get Wasteland, play Wasteland, swing, and I'm obviously gonna counter the Deferous Respawn that he for sure has in his hand. Upkeep, gonna blow up the Ursa's Mine, just lets it go. Tap, Darker Waste, Meddling Mage, I'm gonna let that go. Because I have Call of the Herd. Ha, he names Call of the Herd, which does make quite a bit of sense. So let's activate Wayfarer once again, get another Wasteland, play the Wasteland. I guess we do this thing right now. Loads mana, but lets it go. So I think I'm just gonna pass here. I don't think I'm taking the trade. I have infinite card advantage. He's hitting his land drops still. We're actually ahead on life. Mox is a great draw. That is a very, very good draw. So let's play the Mox. Pitch Gemstone, because this actually allows me to just flashback Deep Analysis and start to do the thing. Let's draw another card. Let's get, I guess, Ritz Grove. Play Wasteland. Pass the turn. Once again, I'm gonna Wasteland their upkeep. Unless he taps out on end step. So far, he has not had. I actually blew up one of each, which is pretty funny. Okay, so now Deferous Response is dead, because I have no more cards that target his lands. Portent myself. Kind of looking for more Moxen. Gush, Call of the Herd, more Portents. I guess I'm gonna not draw the call and draw the other two. Deep Analysis, Flashback. Maybe I should have played my land first. Like, I'm not super scared of getting out of Wayfarer range because I can always reset myself with Gush. So let's play an island. And I think I'm going to start swinging because now Wayfarer doesn't do anything anymore. Pass the turn. End step he impulses, which is fine. Draw the call from Portent. Maybe I should have shuffled that away actually. Should have probably definitely shuffled that away. So now he clearly has Decree. It's on tap. Portent. That's a terrible draw by the way. Jesus. Those are all awful. Just going to have Decree. So let's just draw a card. Play Gemstone. And I guess pass the turn. There's Decree for 2. Can't do much about that one. Draw from Portent. Another Meddling Mage. Sphere. Stuck under these. Stupid. Oh man. They're just straight for the Soldiers. Just gonna play another Mage. I'm gonna name Stroke of Genius. Play another land. Pass a turn. I'm going to discard anyway otherwise, so maybe I should have named Wrath of God. But Stroke seems like the real way that I lose. Because I can always come back from a Wrath of God. Like, he just resets the board and then we start over. But Stroke is just going to be a 17 for 1. I should have annulled this Sky Cloud Egg, I think. Just because I want to start cashing in these gushes. Armageddon would be sick. It's Deep Analysis. Another Meddling Mage. Okay, so now we name Wrath of God. And I guess we continue playing lands. I mean, eventually we're going to find one of the thingies, right? The Sweeper. That's what I'm looking for. Trade for the Sky Cloud Egg. Activate Wayfarer just to draw land. Alright. Well, keep doing this. Draw a fetch. Oh, I can't activate anymore. We are even on lands. They didn't even look. Another counterspell is not terrible. Send the turn back. Another counterspell. Sure. Looking for Armageddon or looking for Volcanic Spray. Now he's going to discard. There we go. So, gosh, so many lands. I have to assume that these meddling mages are keeping some considerable amount of cards in his hand. Maybe we should have floated more mana. I have triple counter magic. I don't think he's going to be able to win this fight. His counters are a lot more awkward than mine. I also just noticed that he discarded the Stroke of Genius when he was discarding 2 hand size. So, counter the Prohibit. Love to draw a Quiet Spec. Didn't float mana. That is because of time constraints, actually. Nothing more than that. Maybe I should be attacking with everything, honestly. I don't know. Another Gush. Just gonna swing with everything. Because this unlocks my Call of the Herd. Okay. So now he can cast Wrath and he can cast the other card. But I can cast Calls. So who's really winning? Now we're swinging. Flashback Call. No swords means that that's basically game. Swing. And now we're good. Wayfarer. Play Trevas. Pass the turn. Place land, but it's too late. Yeah, okay, we executed the game plan. We executed the game plan exactly like we drew it up. Just making sure that there's no Tron ever assembled. And then we took it from there. So, good stuff. See you for the next round. On to match number 3, and we have a fantastic hand. We're going to keep it real quick. Oh, misclicked. This hand also sounds horrendous. So, down to 5. This one's reasonable. We're going to bottom, I guess, the Portent and the Wasteland. And I'm going to go turn 1 Weather Wayfarer and hope that this is the answer to all my prayers. I'm going to move to 5. Wayfarer, go. So we're both on 5, so this is a fair match. Basic Island, and pass the turn. I think I'm just going to swing here. Opponent could be on Dreadnought, so I actually have to hold up counterspell here. Aquamoeba. Yeah, I think this enables my opponent's deck. So I'm gonna just do that. And now we can start to do Wayfarer things. Very nice. So we're going to fetch for, I guess, a Trevas Ruins. This allows me to hit my land drop and play my Mox. And I guess I can deploy the Call of the Herd. I'll do this. Play my land. Bounce the island. Play Mox. Pitch the island. Cast Call of the Herd. Not a bad draw. Now next turn we can start a cook with Wayfarer. Also notably my opponent has Island. Oh, okay, now they have my coast, which I'm gonna blow up immediately. Literally right now. Nice pickup. Gonna get a Wasteland. Gonna very much wasteland that land. I'm gonna play the second Wayfarer first. I guess he plays around days. Oh, they can have Circular Logic. Do I want to pay for this? No, I guess I want to do some other stuff with my mana, so I'm not gonna pay for this actually. Just gonna Wasteland. So now if my opponent wants to like not hit their land drops, they can we just do nothing for a minute. I don't think attacking there is a good line. So they're just gonna not hit their land drops. Okay, that sounds like good deal for me. By its spec, we're gonna get Call, Ray, and I guess Volcanic Spray to potentially deal with some Root Wallas down the line. And my opponent's deck is mono 2-drops, like it's just not functional for them to just not hit their land drop. Like they can like get one attack in with Wild Mongrel, but past that they can't really do that much. Gush is not super great to be honest. So we're just gonna chill, I guess. The game's gonna slow down now. When we finally activate Wayfarer, I think, there we go. We're gonna get a fetch land first. This allows me to like do tricks and stuff. So let's activate here first. I guess I can get Undiscovered Paradise. Seems important to actually develop my mana. When I get at least one more island. Root Walla on end step. We do have that one covered. I mean, my opponent's not gonna be able to attack with it, so I don't think they should have gone for that. So they're gonna be overextending now. Mongrel, no blocks. Untap, another Wayfarer. Play Wayfarer, activate Wayfarer. We're gonna get an island. Lay it out. Pass the turn. So now we have Gush online. They worm on end step. The question now is whether I'm supposed to play around. I guess if I do get offered the trade, I do take it with the worm. Reason being, my opponent's eventually going to draw. Like, this gets owned by unsummon, but unsummon and nothing else. And my opponent is eventually going to. They're gonna get to a point where they're gonna draw Wonder. And when that happens, we're gonna be in trouble. So I think they have Counterspell and not. So I'm going to actually do this here and draw one more with the Wayfarer. This may be a little bit greedy, but I do suspect that they have Counterspell and not Daze Mana Leak. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we're at 15. Don't have that much breathing room, but we do have a little bit of it. When it gets in there for 3. Oh, they pump? That's good news for me. Moxie's nice. So let's Gush first to have all of our options. Wow. Ugh, that's really bad, huh? I guess this Wayfarer is gonna be chomp blocking. That sucks for me. That is for sure. Oh, Circular Logic. Okay, so they're not playing Survival Madness. They're playing like straight up blue-green. So let's play this. Pitch another land. I'm just going to Quiet Spec for the last Call of the Herd, so that we have something to do next turn. We really need to find the source to Plowshares. That's the real deal right now. So we're gonna take 3-5. We're going to 1 if I don't chomp block. So I guess I have to chomp block. I think I block the Rootwalla to force the pump, which taps my opponent out. Okay, so they have another land, Meddling Mage. Okay, I think I name Mana Leak. Another option would be to name Arrogant Worm. We're not yet in a spot where we have to chump block the Wild Mongrel. I'm not gonna play around Wonder. I don't think that we can beat Wonder. So if opponent offers, I'm gonna block their Rootwalla to force the pump on the trade. Second main, another Mongrel. Source to Plowshares would be great here. Keep drawing some dead cards. Discuss Deep Analysis. Still no Source to Plowshares, huh? Let's Gush. Still no Source to Plowshares, huh? Alright. Still no Source to Plowshares, huh? So I guess we're gonna upkeep this. And I'm gonna be forced to... Oh, we're just dead on board. And that's when we found the threat, an actual threat. This would have been a pretty reasonable draw, actually. Man, any Source to Plowshares at any point in the game would have been pretty good. Like, I drew over half of my deck. Did not find a single Swords. So here I'm forcing my opponent. Like, it's not obvious for my opponent to go, oh, like, this is good information. It's not obvious for my opponent to go for it here. So I guess they are playing Survival. Yeah, because, like, I'm kind of representing Source to Plowshares here, right? So it's not like straight up obvious that my opponent's supposed to do that. Jesus. Well, green and white. It's this dude. Okay, so that resolved. So unfortunately, this is a little bit awkward because now I'm in a spot where my opponent is kind of forced to go for it. So this happened all one turn too late. So at this point, I'm gonna have to Gush into one of my Source to Plowshares, I think. Awkwardly enough, if they have something like Gilded Drake, I'm gonna have to let that resolve. Yeah, so now because if I do actually stabilize if my opponent doesn't go for it here, they're forced to actually do it because it only gets worse for them right now. So they pump, discarding the coast, and they have Trike. So now we Gush, and we have to draw exactly Source to Plowshares. No luck. Yep, of course. never look. Never ever look. Anyway, Call of the Herd looks good. Furnaces are fine. They're not insane or anything. They're okay. So I guess they do have Survival because they have a Trike and Devourer. So how do they fit everything? Circular Logic, Trike, Devourer, so much. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be getting in this game. I'm gonna sideboard as if no Survival. I think I'm gonna choose to just sideboard as if my opponent does not have Survival. Specs are fine. Everything else is fine. One Deep Analysis is fine. I think I'm gonna cut. Meddling Mage is kind of awkward. It lines up quite poorly. I'm on the play though, so I guess on the play I'm gonna go with Mage. And on the draw, where I cannot name Wild Mongrel on turn 2, I'm gonna go for something else. I mean, I'm just gonna have the one Ray. I'm just gonna have the Singleton Ray of Revelation. I feel like it's just too valuable as a Quiet Spec target, right? So on the play, yeah, I like this. We do have the Ray, but we can go turn 1 Wayfarer into turn 2 Trevas plus Phyrexian Furnace. So we can start doing Wayfarer stuff. Basic Forest. Turn 1 Rootwalla. Very good draw. Rex Infernus. Play Trevas. Bounce. Play Mock. Go. If I really need to counter something, I'm gonna counter it, but even in survival, I don't have to counter because I drew my Ray. So it's Wild Mongrel specifically. Survival. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Tormod's Crypt. Offer the trade. No thank you. So let's activate this guy. Guess we're gonna get a Flooded Strand. Activate Wayfarer. And I think I'm gonna get Gemstone Mine here. Like, I do want to continue developing my board. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get Gemstone Mine. And we're just gonna blow up the survival right now. And that's kind of it. Now my opponent's forced to... I guess they don't have to crack this until they have another survival to cast. It's kind of a decent pickup. Go get the Ritz Grove, the other lair land, so that I can reset Gemstone Mine. And now let's cast Call of the Herd, right? My opponent did not have a Mongrel nor another survival last turn, so I'm just supposed to try to push my advantage here. Frantic Surge. Worst case scenario is an Arrogant Worm, and even that doesn't really matter that much here. Mayako's Rootwalla. This sounds good for me. Opponent went, I guess, even on cards there. If they offer the trade, I'm taking it, because that taps them out for the turn, basically. And I get to go fetch a Wasteland. Okay, so opponent's just not respecting Wayfarer anymore, which is, in and of itself, respectable. Block that, they pump, that's fine. They just crack Tormod's Crypt for no reason? Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that line. So get the Wasteland, play it out, Medley Mage, gonna name Wild Mongrel. Actually survival. We don't care about Mongrel anymore because we have Mystic Enforcer, so we're fine. And now we get to Wasteland. And now we should be in the clear. Opponent can't even activate because they're gonna fall too far behind there. 4 mana. Hardcast Wonder. Yeah, that's rough. Because sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, huh? I have seen days. What is Wayfarer doing here? Is it actually doing anything? I think I just want to Portent Self. Looking for Source to Plowshares. Hey, look at that. Yeah, these cards are fantastic. Probably not going to activate Wayfarer this turn. My cards are just too good, which is a little bit of a waste, but it's okay. So now I'm gonna swing with this Medley Mage because I'm not really blocking. This is nice because now I don't need to counter a Wild Mongrel anymore. I'm probably going to like protect my life total though. Let's block there, and I'm going to plow. If my opponent has a counter spell for this, I'm totally okay with that. Cool. So that just happened. We time walk them. 3 cards in hand. Hardcast Rootwalla, you got it. Activate Wayfarer. Now they're just letting me do the thing. I don't think I can crack this Furnace because I need to still respect this Wonder. Portent myself. Oh, there was a... I messed that up actually. There was the... I forgot that there was the... What's his name on top? So let's not shuffle draw the gosh. There's the Call of the Herd. I run into Mana Leak. I think that's fine. Let's just run into Mana Leak. Like, I'm not gonna really get another window where I'm gonna have... Where I don't want to activate Wayfarer because both of my cards on top are great. And I don't really want to use my mana any other way anyway. Because there's nothing that I care about countering. Because at this point, even Survival doesn't really do anything. Could block... maybe I'm supposed to block with the Wayfarer. Oh, notably, I just realized that this doesn't have flying until you have Threshold. Did not know that. So let's spec call. Notably, this does give me Threshold. And now activate Wayfarer, get an island, and play it out. And now opponent doesn't have good attacks. I guess the Melee Mage can serve. I guess I should just counter this. I cannot get countered back. Clean use of my mana. Like, it's not likely that that's going to blow me out, but I don't need to expose myself to getting blown out for no reason. Like, now I have calls, I have a Gush in hand, and my opponent needs to spend 5 mana for an Arrowround Worm instead of 3. So no attacks, which is reasonable. Terrible draw. Let's Gush. Okay, it's not great or anything, but we are not necessarily progressing, but allows me to not necessarily progress again next turn. So now this Frantic Surge is a lot less scary. Okay, so they did have the worm. Or maybe they found it now, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We have been very not great at drawing. Oh, interesting. So that does kind of matter. Fortunately, I can't Gush in response, but that's like a pretty bad trade for them, to be honest. Like, now Wonder is a little bit annoying, but this dude still has flying, so even if they jump the Arrogant Worm, we can still do stuff. Activate Wayfarer. This is just because it's free. Like, I'm just gonna discard a bunch of lands, most likely. Wow, still draw an island. Okay, Call of the Herd. Oh, I tapped as wrong as possible, basically. That's the turn. I sure hope my opponent doesn't find the survival now. Man, what a disaster that I just... Embarrassing. Didn't even think about it. More lands. Okay. That's fine. I guess I am still gonna gush. Do need to find answers. Wow, and we still find more lands. Wow, this is getting kind of ridiculous. At least we have some counter magic now, so I'm a little bit more chill. But man, both games, Source to Pleasures, have been avoiding me. Yeah, evading? Like, what the hell is that? Source to Pleasures have been avoiding me. That's a nice clean answer to the Wonder. Just plow it. Don't need to worry about it anymore. Activate Wayfarer. Keep on cleaning that deck. Untap. More Island. Oh my god. I mean, all I can say is Threshold is firmly assembled. Threshold is very firmly assembled. Oh my god! Man, this is unreal. Like, how crazy is that? I mean, I can wasteland myself to, like, activate the Wayfarers, but man, that's... Oh, come on! Come on! What is this? What is going on right now? Shout out to Mystic Enforcer. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna be able to, on my opponent's Sand Step, pick a fight, Source to Plowshares the Wonder, and once I do, then we're good. Frantic Search. No, this is how they discard the Wonder that I don't want them to discard. And now I plow while my opponent's tapped out here. Tapped low, really. So now I can start clocking. Man, this game has been an experience. Quiet Spec. Don't mind if I do. This is, I guess, Deep Analysis and Call of the Hearth. Get an island. And I think I'd rather just swing for 6. I don't need to flashback yet. Naturalize my mock. Resolve 6, yeah. I guess technically we can play around circular logic if we do nothing. That seems like something I'm interested in doing. We don't have good attacks. Another counterspell pretty much, I would say, seals the deal. Something very strange would need to happen for us to lose this game. And I have way more than lethal as is, so I'm just gonna hold up all of my mana to play around soft counter magic. They showed me Leak, and they also showed me 5 mana to Genesis. This is still very lethal, so this is fine. Shout out to the Phyrexian Furnace. Swing with everybody and go to, I guess this is game 3? Yeah, that was only game 2. These games have been long. Mystic Enforcer. Volcanic Spray has been quite bad, and I'm definitely interested in the second Ray of Revelation now that I know that they are indeed playing survival. So Melee Mage can go, and I guess we just cut all mages. They are kind of awkward. What do we bring instead? I don't want Disenchant. Like, this is just enough. Like, the 2 rays are kind of more than enough, honestly. Let's go for Deep Analysis, number 2. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to actually flash this back, but just so I can have more Quiet Spec targets, I guess. But I doubt I'll be able to afford to flashback the second Deep Analysis. Maybe I can flashback the first one, but this hand is spectacular. I like everything about this hand. Oh, maybe they have a null. That would be interesting. So let's play the Wayfarer first, play around Daze, which we know they have in their deck. And now we can Portent. They can Daze this, they time walk themselves, then I get to turn 2 Quiet Spec. Okay, so they have Daze. Like, this tank basically confirms they have Daze. Unfortunately for me, these are not particularly great. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the Mox, and then I'm going to leave myself, I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep so that I draw the Mox, and then if my opponent has Survival, so put the Mox on top. If they play Survival on 2, then we draw the Ray, and if they don't, then I activate Wayfarer on my upkeep to shuffle away. Naturalize. Cool. So now I can upkeep, go get a lair land. Let's get Trevas, play my land. That's it. Pretty bad draw, actually. Bounce here, play this out. And I'm going to Quiet Spec, tap out. If they do have Daze, then they can resolve Survival. But I don't care about Wild Mongrel. And if this resolve, then we're really cooking. Okay, they have the Daze, which was going to kind of get me anyway. So it's kind of okay. Like, it's just kind of whatever, really. Unless they have specifically Survival right now, that would be a problem. And looks like they have Survival right now. No, Aquamila. That one I can beat. I think I'm plowing that, though. Let's get another Flooded Strand, play it out, and plow right now. I don't want my opponent to be able to unlock their mana, and I want to try to get a significant amount of value from this. But, like, the way that I lose is my opponent taps, and then they play a land, and they play an Arrogant Worm, and then things get out of hand. So by doing this, we're kind of delaying that choice a little bit. Wayfarer is fine. Let's get a Grove or an Island. Gemstone Mine can actually allow me to get back down on mana. Let's do Gemstone Mine. Play another Wayfarer, send the turn back. If I'm forced to counter something, I will, but I'm not. I'm not gonna block here. My opponent wants to spend their turn pumping. Good for me. Tormod's Crypt, which is still in my opponent's deck, even after how bad it was last game. Surprised to see that. So fetch, holding priority, activate, wasteland, activate, get Rg Grove, find an island. I guess I'm gonna play another Flooded Strand. So if my opponent plays one land, we can do the same thing next turn, draw 2 cards. Unfortunately, I think I have to counter this. Not super excited about that, but it unlocks my opponent's deck. We're gonna take 1, pass the turn, still no land. Dude, are we gonna have the same thing happen again? That would really be crazy. We find ourselves again in never finding a spell territory. Well, my opponent's missing land drops, mind you. Right now, again, I'm still happy taking 1. Gush is quite nice. So that actually allows me to play a land. I'm not gonna Gush right now, because I don't think I need to. I can force the Time Walk. Man, but now I kinda don't want to. I guess I'm still happy taking the 1. So, let's actually pass. Untap, draw. Please don't draw land. Okay, cool. Now we Gush this turn, because I'm starting to get to a point where I need to find business. Definitely business. So play, Quiet Spec, get Call of the Herd, Deep Analysis, and I guess I have a Ray in hand, so I'm happy if my opponent wants to exile the other Ray. I'm just gonna flashback right now the Call of the Herd. This is gonna force the opponent's Tormod's Crypt, Hardcast Logic for 3. That's fine. Swing, so I'm not blocking, so might as well. Opponent found 1 more land, and they pump. Well, they're gonna let me flashback Deep Analysis. Okay, I'll take that. Play Wayfarer, play land, swing for 1, 5 versus 5. No, I'd rather draw 2. Gonna discard Gemstone Mine. Oh no, this doesn't fetch an island. This doesn't fetch a plains. Does that still mean that I want to fetch? It's an interesting question. I don't think so. Nice draw, very nice draw. So let's play Rg Grove to reset that Gemstone Mine, which sucks. And let's go Mystic Enforcer. No. I could Volcanic Spray into Mystic Enforcer, but get an island, cast the Enforcer. They counter, I counter spell. Please don't have Daze. Daze would have been kind of brutal there, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna swing with one of these. I think I'm gonna be able to potentially flashback the other Quiet Spec. So I wanna sit on this block. Force the pump. They do nothing. It's very good for me. Gonna swing for 6. 3 turn clock. They crack the Tormod's Crypt. Okay, so now, can Gush right now, or we can just make some land drops and chill. I think I'm gonna go for option number 2. The nice thing about gushing right now is that I can potentially find the Call of the Herd. Take the block there. When it pumps, I will Gush, and I'm probably gonna hard cast the Gush. Just draw 4. I guess I should have held priority and activate Wayfarer there. Yeah, that was a mistake. Get another Wasteland. Now that I drew Portent, I guess I'm not going to hardcast this Gush. No, I guess I'm just gonna do it anyway. Like, I need to find some form of removal, right? I'm due, okay? I have seen 1 Source to Plowshares. Okay, now 2. This makes me a lot more comfortable now. Now we're just chilling. We're just hanging out. Okay, second Source to Plowshares, pretty much. I assume is gonna seal the deal here. Let's just play my land, play a Wayfarer, Portent myself, see what's on top. I would like to see some Calls of the Herd. Another Mystic Enforcer I'd also take, I guess. Top, top, and top. No shuffle. And just pass the turn. Swing for 3, I guess. Even if my opponent has Arrogant Worm here, we have the double Source to Plowshares, which we can cast, so we're kind of hanging out now. Discard Plains and Gemstone Mine. Maybe we should be discarding the Wastelands, honestly. We should be looking for the clock, though. Going to block, and in response to the pump, I'm gonna plow. This is just to, just to force my opponent's hand here. Like, I actually don't care about these. So now I'm gonna let that resolve. F6, untap, cast the second Mystic Enforcer, and now we are good. Swing for 6. I guess this is a Portent my opponent type situation, because there's very, very few cards that matter here. So, top, top, no shuffle. We're drawing a Flooded Strand, but we have the Source to Plowshares, we have 2 lethal threats, we know my opponent's throwing a dud. Got there! That match was so long. so long. Alright, we got there. See you for the next round. To be honest with you, I have no idea which match this is because these matches are very long. But this hand is quite bad, so let's ship it. This one, ugh, closer, but still bad. 9 to 5. This one I can probably keep. Bottom gush, bottom mage, question mark? White source. I'm gonna play a Mox Diamond here. Maybe I should be playing around disenchant. Like if my opponent goes Source to Plowshares into disenchant, this game ends. That's not Source to Plowshares into disenchant, so now we're gonna be in pretty good shape. Let's get a Plains and play a second Wayfarer. I would like to undo my mulligan, please. Black. Vindicate my Mox. Sure. I guess black-white control. Guess we get Gemstone Mine. Pass the turn. Opponent can Wrath now, but we're gonna have gotten a pretty significant advantage from these little dudes. Let's get an island here. Another Gush is not heinous. We're kind of looking for another land here. Ray of Revelation Mox. I feel like we're gonna shuffle these away and pass the turn. Looking for another island here. Hey, like that one. And now we're kind of looking for Armageddon now. It's gonna play out the Enforcer. If this lives or dies, I don't really care that much, honestly. I just want to play something. They plow this or whatever. Like, I don't think they have plow, because I feel like they would have answered, unless they top decked it at some point, but they would have answered my Wayfarers earlier. Salted Angel. Alright. I guess we're just gonna... I think this may be a hardcast gush kind of game. Notably, this makes my Mystic Enforcer a 6/6, because the Gemstone Mine gets destroyed and plus the Gush goes to the graveyard. So unless my opponent has a Source to Plowshares, they can't actually attack here. I'm gonna hardcast this Gush though. To be honest, like the triple Gush hand is quite nasty. Man, Mystic Enforcer, shout out. Gonna draw 3. Skittle Shrine is quite strong there. We drew literally nothing. I guess we're going down the hardcast Gush line again and step Eternal Dragon. Really want to dodge Duress. Opponent is overextending a little bit into Armageddon, which I hope I can take advantage of. Haunting Echoes? Oh, that's messed up. We're gonna draw 2 here. Wow, more like, dude, like what has been going on today? It's just, wow, that's insane. Wow. Unbelievable. I drew nothing, man. I drew absolutely nothing. That's crazy. Now the angel can actually serve. That's pretty unreal. Oh, they have the plow too. Call of the Herd. Man, that's insane. I'm still, like, my mind is blown. I can't believe what just happened. Okay, I guess we move on. Discard is Flooded Strand and just 2 Flooded Strands. Like, we're not going to be able to do Flooded Strand tricks. Oh, maybe I should have saved a Flooded Strand because of Portent. Oh, no, never mind. The Portents are exiled. Yeah. Flooded Strands just cost me life. Have to protect my red source because that's a Geddon. Right now is probably not the time to Geddon, but when in Plows on end step, yeah, we're falling pretty far behind here. I think I'm not... Oh, I guess they did see Geddon. I was going to say I'm not going to show them Geddon, but they literally just saw it, so... Okay, so we just got. Man, I cannot believe that I cast 3 Gushes in the same turn, drew 6 cards, and I drew air and nothing else. Okay, so deep analysis. The 4th copy of Armageddon. Want the Furnaces. I think I'm gonna cut 1 Mox. 1 Volcanic Spray is fine. I'm gonna cut 2 counter spells. Wayfarer sounds great. Meddling Mage sounds great. I think I'm gonna cut 2 Swords to Plowshares. And we're gonna call it a day here. I still need answers to Angels. I don't think I need that many. What I do need is to draw cards. Maybe Meddling Mage is bad. Let's do 3 Mage, 3 counter spell. They have so many answers, like they have Wrath of God, they have Vindicate, Swords to Plowshares, which we also have ourselves. Like, Meddling Mage is a little bit awkward. So, this hand I guess is fine. We have an island, we can spec on 2. Probably double deep analysis. If they even now they're gonna see the Armageddon, they should probably still take the Quiet Speculation. Like, I'm not gonna Armageddon anytime soon, so they should probably just take the Quiet Spec. Good play. This shows my opponent that I drew the Plains, but what are you gonna do? Gerard's Verdict. I guess we're gonna discard the Call of the Herd and Gush. Maybe I should have even discarded the Armageddon there. Oh, I should have definitely played the Flooded Strand there so I could Gush. Because now if they have second, yeah, that's brutal. That is actually super devastating. Yeah. I messed that up so bad. I messed that up super bad. Just myself to be upset about that one. Scrying for 2. On the plus side, if I find an island, we're kind of cooking, but also I can just find another Gush and We're not going anywhere. One is kind of extending a little bit. So, important. Jesus. Any other shuffle. So annoying. I was thinking, oh, I can cast Call of the Herd, but then like obviously flashback is 4. So like I was still stuck on the fact that I was planning on casting Call of the Herd on 3, and then I failed to reassess. This was definitely my game to lose. And my opponent's draw has been pretty decent. It's not like their draw is bad or anything, but Jesus, where are my lands? But yeah, low-key, that was a very key turn for my opponent. When that was the one spot where they could have made a mistake. Oh, they should Dust Bowl me right now. Should Dust Bowl me immediately. Unless they're planning to like cast an angel maybe. They wanna like try to push ahead. Yeah, they're Dust Bowling. Definitely in the right line. Island, please. Okay, I'm gonna pass the turn here. My plan is to find an island and then go island, gush immediately, play Mox Diamond, and then have multiple lands so that I can catch back up. Because I'm gonna need, I still need to kill these soldier tokens. I can just stabilize with a single Call of the Herd, but play another land. Okay, that's a Call of the Herd. I'm not super psyched about doing this, but I think they're gonna cycle on end step, so I need to put something on the board because I'm gonna be taking 5 otherwise. Okay, Skills is crying. Probably even worse. Probably even worse. And now if they find Duress or Jar's Verdict, I'm in a world of hurt. I'm gonna pitch Gush and Source to Plowshares there because I have the hope that I'll be able to draw my island. Did not draw my island. Okay, so now we're probably gonna lose to this angel. That was the turn. I needed to find an island there so that I can play the island, Gush, and then Armageddon, and then hopefully this angel just takes long enough to flip that it's just too slow. But now that we have to deal with this angel, we have one Source of Plowshares as an answer. That's it. That's all we got. Man, I threw this game away. I feel like it was very winnable otherwise. I just sequenced very poorly. Anyway, see you for the next round. On to the next round. This hand looks quite good. I like it. So we have some basics, which is very nice. We have Source to Plowshares on 1 against the Mog Fanatic. I guess I don't love this. I'm just gonna play out the Wayfarer. Like if we're gonna trade, like I'm just gonna take the block. I guess I spec on 2. I'm just gonna trade. Like my opponent can make this trade, so I'm not gonna give them the chance to just do anything. Rashad Port is not something I was expecting though. Oh, it's Goblins. Duh. Wasteland. Boom. Next. My spot is kind of not great here. I guess it's fine. I can probably take a turn off to Quiet Spec. Play my island. I could mage otherwise, naming War Chief. That's gonna make my opponent's turn 3 pretty awkward, which I like. Okay, let's do that. It's pretty bad if my opponent has like land and goes land into Gem Palm, like Goblin 1-drop into Gem Palm. Wasteland not doing much. There's a Lackey. Really don't want to see a Gem Palm. Okay, Mog Fanatic. Fine. I'm gonna take 1. That's a nice draw. I guess I spec into Volcanic. Double call. I think I actually get deep analysis here. I do wonder though if I'm in a spot where I think I'm supposed to play out the gemstone, because otherwise I'm gonna take I'm exposing it to Wasteland, but I'm gonna take infinite damage from this pile driver otherwise, and I may need to plow this Lackey if my opponent has a removal spell. They do know about the Volcanic Spray now though, so they are forced to Wasteland kind of. Just gonna Source to Plowshares, the pile driver. This is a little bit risky in the face of a Lackey because now it exposes me to getting gem palmed, but I feel like we are... Oh, okay, so this is also a problem. Got punished. As long as there's no Siege Gang here, I can beat a Ringleader. Okay, maybe I can beat a Ringleader. Yeah, I can definitely beat that Ringleader. Smoke Fanatic. Okay, give me a land, baby. It's not a land. Okay, I'm gonna flashback deep analysis, and I need to find lands here. Cool. We're gonna need to plow, so plow the Lackey because I cannot really afford for my opponent to have drawn a good card. And then we play Mystic Enforcer. So plow, Lackey, take 3, down to 10, another Lackey. But now we are kind of in okay shape with this big beefy Mystic Enforcer. 6/6 is big. Carplus and Forest. Opponent could have War Chief. I have not actually given them a chance to play a War Chief yet because... Oh, Matron. Let's see what they pick up. Probably Ringleader. If it is indeed Ringleader, I may be forced to hold up Counterspell. Alternatively, I can swing for 6, bring my opponent down to 15. Then next turn... Oh, I guess I can just flashback Volcanic Spray. That sounds much better. Volcanic Spray and hold up Counterspell? Yeah, that's sick. Let's do that. So that card doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna flashback Volcanic Spray. One is gonna ping. And I think I'm not supposed to attack. I attack 6 down to 14. Then next turn, play the Mystic Enforcer. No, I think I'm actually gonna attack. I think I really need to close this game out. Like, my opponent is down on resources, and I'm winning this race as is because of the Meddling Mage. So take 2. Surprised it didn't cycle. Gosh, it's not great, but now this locks it up. So now I can swing for 6 and then play second Enforcer. Shout out to my boy, Mystic Enforcer. Boom, baby. Now we cycle. They should have cycled main phase because they could potentially draw like a land or something, like a Rishadan Port. Okay, we got there. Sideboard. Volcanic Spray number 2. Yes, please. Call of the Herd. Yes, please. And oh, that's right. We have a bunch of Blue Elemental Blast and Hydroblasts. Love that. We had a bunch of bad cards though. I'm not a fan of Meddling Mage, though we may be forced to play it. Obviously, Ray of Revelation is gonna go. Maybe I keep the one of Deep Analysis. So it's between these. Counter spells are actually kind of bad too. So I can cut some Meddling Mages, some Wayfarers. Everything else I like. Maybe I could actually cut Armageddon on the draw. We can take better advantage of it on the play. I think I'm gonna cut the Mages, because Weather Wayfarer at least forces my opponent to have an answer to it if they want to get through with Lucky. Swords to Plowshares, but no White Swords. Opponent keeps 7. I'm gonna ship this. Better in some aspects, worse again in others. Somehow no 2 islands. Down to 5 we go. Okay, I guess I'm gonna keep this one. Bottom Armageddon, and I'm gonna bottom Counterspell. We can Volcanic Spray on 2, which is nice. Prospector, that's good news for me. Basic Island and Portent. Second Portent is not something I'm super stoked about. Plains, I kind of am happy about. I think I'm keeping this. So let's go top, 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 and no shuffle. Red Source, Pile Driver. Do I plow here? We know there's a Wayfarer on top, which I don't think I want. So let's Portent. Mox, Plains. I guess this is fine. And I think I want to draw go Plains, Wayfarer, Mock, no shuffle. Play land and say go. I think we're just gonna plow the Pile Driver. We'll see. If my opponent plays a War Chief, I'm definitely killing that instead. It's nothing, so I'm gonna plow the Pile Driver. Like, I'm gonna have to answer the Pile Driver anyway eventually, so might as well do it now. Tap my land, and just gonna play a Wayfarer, send the turn back. So if they cycle Gem Palm, that means the Goblin Goon. Holy smokes, that's a card. So we have a Plains on top, so I'm just going to activate Wayfarer and upkeep. And I think I'm gonna go get an Wasteland. No, I'm gonna get an island. Actually, Wasteland does not sound bad. Yeah, I guess let's get Wasteland. Let's draw for turn. Hopefully we find a 2-drop. Swords to Plowshares will be nice. Plains, not so much. So let's Wasteland here. Guess we pass. Gonna take 7. No, they have the land. Guess we're gonna take much more than 7. Pyrokinesis, Red Elemental Blast, just a Prospector. So I guess this is just gonna be a chunk block. Quiet Spec. Let's play Mox Diamond. Pitch Paradise, and I'm just gonna cast Call of the Herd, and we're gonna chump plus activate Wayfarer. 3 mana, War Chief, and Pile Driver. That's pretty good. So we trade with Pile Driver, and we chump the Goon. Gonna Wayfarer, and I think this Wasteland's not really doing anything, so I'm just gonna get an island in case we draw Gush specifically. So we take the trade there, and I think work. Oh, I guess I needed a red source. Yeah, I needed a red source actually, so that I could Volcanic Spray and just flashback immediately. I needed a Gemstone Mine. We did find the Gush. So I guess we can now find Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond, and we play on. It's not it. Okay, let's concede. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that we actually we could have had like 4 red sources, and we would have been able to flashback, kill everything but the Goon, and then the Goon actually cannot attack by itself, so missed opportunity. Do I need more melee mages to name Goblin Goon? Probably not. I don't think this is an Armageddon matchup. I think I'd rather have Counterspell. Maybe on the play more melee mages. I'm just not a huge fan of melee mage in the face of Gem Palm Incinerator. We do get to be on the play here though. This is really tempting hand. I'm gonna ship it though. This one's much better, so keep this. I think I'm gonna mono the Mystic Enforcer, so I'd rather have double Swords to Plowshares. And here is Island. This Gemstone Mine sucks, but I guess I need it. Now I'm gonna rev that. May actually counter something. No blocks with sequencing. Fantastic basics art for my opponent, by the way. Definitely countering this. They have a Reb, which is fine. Just plow the Lucky. Another ally is not awful. I'm gonna plow now to prevent my opponent from... I guess I can have done that on combat. That's fine. Probably gonna need to just sacrifice this gemstone mine to cast Deep Analysis, which I don't love. Dormo Script has not done much for my opponent. Tap my island. Quiet Spec. Quiet Spec is not worth sacrificing my stupid gemstone mine. Neither is Source of Plowshares. 4 mana, Goon. Sure. Counter target red permanent. Nice. So do I just flashback? I just cast Deep Analysis here. I need to draw cards so bad. I hate that so much. There's the Trevas Ruins. Immediately Tormod Script? Really? Just trade it for half a Deep Analysis? I mean, this Deep Analysis cost me a land, so I guess it's not the worst, to be honest. Tough life. Okay. So let's spec or Volcanics play, and I think double Call of the Herd. That's cool. Now cast Trevor's Ruins, bounce the island, cast Wayfarer. Oh, they have Gem Bomb? Brutal. I should have played around that, I guess. Could have delayed the Wayfarer by a turn. I mean, I did want to like cast Call of the Herd next turn, so I don't know if that was the line. 3 mana War Chief. That one's gonna die. These suck. Whoa. Pretty aggressive. So I think I'm still killing the War Chief here. Fine draw, but I don't think this is the turn to gush. I think this is the turn to kill the War Chief and then pass the turn. Take 1, untap, tap my white source. Stupid gemstone mine. Okay, I'm just gonna pass the turn again. I'm gonna flashback Call of the Herd next turn. Is my opponent's flooding over there a little bit. Tap my gemstone. Makes sense. Nice pickup, I guess. Don't mind if I do. Alright folks, we're in it. We are in this game. And this can actually block a pile driver, notably. Here my opponent should actually tap one of my non-gemstone mines. Opponent's been playing quite well. Still just swinging for 6 and flashing back Call of the Herd. Pretty funny how I have the gush in my hand that I'm very incentivized to not cast. Pretty funny how this is working out. Opponent's flooding a little bit, definitely getting pretty lucky that they don't draw a Ringleader. I mean, Siege Gang doesn't really do that much, but Ringleader would be quite strong. Keep tapping my white source, which is a good play. And this is, I guess I need to fetch so I can enable Mystic Enforcer again, get another plains, and swing for 9. How do I lose this game? Even something like Siege Gang into War Chief into Siege Gang, that's all of my opponent's mana. We take 7, so we go to 1. Still good to flashback Call of the Herd here, I guess. Opponent with some place or not? No attacks. They could have a blocker. Wasteland doesn't really do anything. Think we got it? Yeah, we got it. Opponent says GG's. Definitely got a little bit lucky there, but that's how it goes. All right, see you for the next round. On to the next round. This hand looks quite decent. Let's keep it. I like that we have Meddling Mage, we have Call of the Herd, and notably we have a turn 1 Mox Diamond. Flooded Strand. We just YOLO name Source to Plowshares. Mystic Enforcer. Let's go with Flooded Strand. I don't think I want to waste this Meddling Mage. I want to try to get value from it. Interesting. Because I kind of want to hold on to this Flooded Strand. So I'm just going to Portent. I do like these cards. So top, 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 no shuffle. I don't think there's anything I'm countering on turn 3, according to what my opponent's showing me here. There's a Plains, there's a Wayfarer. Now we're going to get a basic. Late Trevas, bounce the Plains. And I think I'm just going to cast this Call of the Herd. Mana Leak. Okay, so now I play Mox and play Wayfarer. If they don't have the Source to Plowshares, they're gonna be in really bad shape. Fetch on end step, they do have the swords. So we play on, sure, flashback Call of the Herd here. Factor Fiction in response. So I'm gonna put these 2 together versus the other 3, I guess. I definitely want the lands and the counterspell in different piles. So opponent went for 3 lands and Source to Plowshare. 2 lands and Source to Plowshares. Oh, they did play land, never mind. So let's swing for 3. They swords. So they just YOLO this Armageddon. We know they have at least a Mishra's Factory in hand. Once again, I think I just tap out here. I don't want to play the land though. They did have the counterspell. Okay. My best draw is probably Gush. So let's play Meddling Mage. What to name with this Meddling Mage is interesting. Could just name Wrath of God. That just resolves. So let's just name Factor Fiction. Accumulated Knowledge is another good one. I'm just gonna name Accumulated Knowledge. Still don't think I want to play out the Gemstone Mine. Really want to draw a Gush. I think I do counter this Factor Fiction here. They play a land, and I'm not sure if they have counter magic anymore. That delays the decision, I guess. Let's cast Quiet Spec. Another Factor Fiction. So Source to Plowshares, Factory versus the others. Let's do this, actually. Because my opponent can just, you know, hard cast the decree and then I'm in a lot of trouble. So that's Factory, Source to Plowshares, Land. So let's go for Deep Analysis. I guess Ray of Revelation and Call of the Hearth. Just gonna flashback Deep Analysis. I think this turn I may go ahead and play the Gemstone Mine. Wasteland's not bad because it kind of delays the decision. The reason to get Ray there is first so I don't draw it, and second so that I can find I can fight Humility potentially. It's a nice pickup. Let's play out the Mox, play Gemstone. I think we swing. I could flashback Call, which runs into Wrath of God, but they play Wrath of God and then we get them. We know they have Source to Plowshares, so I think I'm going to do this. This means if they have Geddon, we're going to be very sad, but they have Decree. Doesn't really matter that much. Kind of hoping to find another counterspell. They are down 2 counterspells and 1 mana leak. I could play Geddon around mana leak by playing out my Gemstone Mine. Plow there. Suit up Factory. Take 7. Another Mox. So now we get to play around mana leak. They have a counterspell. Yeah, they have counterspell. Obviously that's terrible for me, but like I can't really wait that long anymore because I just lose. But I'd definitely love to find some business. Haven't really been particularly lucky in that department. Disenchant. Down to 2 cards in hand though. Humility. So everybody's getting in there. We do have the Ray of Revelation, notably. We are going to Wasteland. And then we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I can just trade the Meddling Mage. We can draw my, I guess, Volcanic Spray or another Quiet Spec. Another Quiet Spec is my best draw, I think. Geddon. I mean, I'm gonna cast it. And we can't attack. But we can block and plow one of the tokens. Geddon there is pretty good. Maybe my opponent overextended a little bit. No attacks. Gonna play Drogo for a while here. Another Mage is very nice, actually. So I think I'm going to swing now. What to name? I can't really name Source to Plowshares. Do I just name Impulse? I think I name Impulse. We already have AK covered. Counter Magic doesn't really matter that much. That's one to work towards. Okay, pass the turn. They're finding land drops. It's pretty bad for me. Gemstone Mine. I guess in the face of Dust Bowl, I'm not going to play that one. Man, they hit those land drops really quickly. It's very unfortunate for me. Mox Diamond, cast Call of the Hearth. So it's pretty bad in the face of Wrath of God, but maybe I should have attacked even. We just have to dodge Wrath. Okay, they have the Wrath. And that's rough. Wrath of God. They do have the Wrath. If we find a land, we can play Mystic Enforcer though. Okay. Mystic Enforcer is a heck of a clock. It's 2-turn clock in the air. But now their impulses and AKs are unlocked, which is bad for me. Gosh. Okay, so now another land is very live. So pass the turn. We're not going to flashback Call because that runs into Wrath of God for no reason. If they had Plow, they would have used it. So it's very likely they just have a Wrath. As we see, fortunately didn't have the counter spell there. We are going to call. I need to keep up the pressure, I think. Quiet Spec is not awful here. Wayfarer, on the other hand. And swing with Elephant. Opponents out of Wraths, notably. If they cycle for 3, we can do some good stuff here because we can like mess up their block. Playing this Wayfarer, I think this Wayfarer is more valuable than the Quiet Spec, so I'm playing that around Mana Leak. They have Counterspell. Okay. Now we spec 1 card in hand for opponents, just the one of Volcanic Spray. But it is a card that we don't want to draw, and it's also a way to protect against my opponent's 3rd Decree of Justice. There's a land, and now this fetch land I guess is offline. Because my opponent's at 2, they can fetch. Let's see what my opponent has here. They have an Angel. Hardcast Decree. So we're just going to Source to Plowshares the Angel. Swing for 3. We've been pretty lucky that we've been able to cash in very well all of our cards. Wow, we got there. At one point I thought that we were not going to. That was very exciting. So Disenchant is nice. Counterspell is nice. Call. Extra Geddon. Man, I really thought that my opponent was going to be able to get out of that one. I think I only want a single Volcanic Spray. Meddling Mage is good. Wayfarer is fantastic. Do we want a Null? I don't think so. Phyrexian Furnace is interesting for AK. I don't think that's it though. I don't think Phyrexian Furnace is a card that I want. Mystic Enforcer is a little bit awkward at 4 mana. So I think that's the one that I want to cut. All of my other cards are better. Maybe Mox Diamond is a card that I want to cut, but I don't think so. That was a really fun game though. Sand looks pretty good. Island, go. For both of us. Island. So I think I'm just going to just play a mage. They could have Mana Leak, but if they don't, we just name Swords to Plowshares. So this is fine. I'm gonna play another Meddling Mage, play Fetch, and just cast another Meddling Mage. Name Swords to Plowshares. Impulse in response. More name Swords to Plowshares. Send it back. So I guess it's gonna be a Humility. Only thing they're gonna be tapping out here for. So we just get nice pickup. So now we just get Quiet Spec for Ray. Ray double deep analysis, I think. Gonna flashback the Ray right now though, because I want to make sure that I resolve this through counter magic and get in for 2 points. Furnace. They should probably just crack this right now to get rid of one of these deep analysis, because otherwise I'm just gonna flashback both of them next turn and they're gonna get no value. Yep, well played. Opponent has been playing quite tight. So deep analysis, flashback, Mana Leak. Kind of aggressive. I'm just gonna cast this Call of the Hearth here. My opponent has Wrath that taps them out, which allows me to resolve Armageddon. So I think I'm okay with that. Opponent fetches, and they do Wrath, and I am going to cast this Armageddon. Kind of have Mana Leak or Counterspell or whatever, but I think that's the best window we're gonna have. I'm going to play out the Undiscovered Paradise instead of the Mox though. And now we just have to find any lands. We are holding Counterspell, which is nice. No land for opponent. Another Geddon. Do find Coastal Tower. Call of the Hearth. That's gonna be nice later. Really gotta find a land. Really gotta find a land. Opponent found land before I did. I think they have Naturalize. Powder Keg. Counter that. That's effectively the same thing. Land would be great. No luck. Untap. Wayfarer. I guess we play that one. Runs into Mana Leak, Swords to Plowshares, but they have the swords. Release a land. Still no land. No land and somehow no castables either. Okay, finally. Elephant. Nice. Yeah, trading with counter magic is great instead of trading with swords, because that's less counters that can get my Geddon. Meddling Mage. I'm just gonna cast another Call of the Hearth though. Just more beef. Man, we're trading with counter spells. This is great. Getting pretty lucky that my opponent has not found a disenchant. The second they found a disenchant, I'm in pretty bad shape to be honest. Or another Powder Keg or something. We are kind of dodging though. Play Paradise, play another Mox. They could have a Null, maybe? That's what they're thinking here. A Null seems awkward against me. Okay, I think I call first in the hope of finally getting a threat on board. Furnace, Mana Leak versus the others. So it's 2 lands, and so 1 Wrath is gone. They have 1, maybe 2. They main phase the Impulse. All the Mana Leaks are gone, all 4 of them. Counter spell, they still have 3, I assume. Let's swing. See if my opponent wants to block. No blocks. Just gonna get it now. It's a counter spell. That seems fine. Maybe I should have played the Wasteland. That's a nice one. So they don't have Mana Leaks anymore. Play Wasteland. And let's swing. See if we can tap them out a little bit. I think I'm gonna allow the block to happen. Opponent takes the trade, then I'm just going to Wasteland in response to the second one. If they offer the trade here, I'm just gonna take it. And if they pump with the second one, I'm gonna Wasteland. Now we Wasteland. I'm going to cast Meddling Mage. Name Wrath of God. Get a counter spell. That's cool. Gonna play Wayfarer. That's it? No more counter spells? I think no more counter spells. And they play the land. That's a pretty big mistake from them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no more counter spells. So I guess they could have something like Absorb or Forbid. Swords to Plowshares in response. That's fine. They decree. Just gonna have Volcanic Spray, so not too worried about these 1/1s. Alright, baby. This looks like a good spot for the good guys. Take 3. Land is fantastic. So let's play Island first. Portent. Another land. Quiet Spec doesn't get anything. So I'm just gonna take both lands. Top, no shuffle. Just blow up the world. Now we're living the dream. Fetch. And I think I just play out the 1 turn clock. Boom, baby! That was cool. That was a pretty exciting match. Albeit a long one, but I feel like we played well. Forced my opponent to make some kind of awkward trades and eventually ended up on top both games somehow. Quiet Spec, man. It's a heck of a card. Alright folks, so there you go. 4-2 record. Not bad for a first time out with this deck. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. The gameplay was super interesting. Quiet Spec was a hell of a card. I was very, very impressed by this. Not necessarily in the shell, but just overall. Just being able to tutor for some threats or some interaction has been very, very interesting. and quite powerful, to be fair. Mystic Enforcer overperformed my expectations, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be awful and terrible, and it ended up being a little bit clunky, but it was actually so impactful. Like, it just came down and it was basically a 6/6 every single time. The fact that it was so easy to enable made it legitimately just undercosted, honestly. It was very, very good at closing the game too. Like in the Goblins matchups, I was able to just like get a couple of swings in there, and I was there. It was very impressive. Even in Landstill, like I was able to just swing for 6 in a single turn, which really put my opponent under a very significant amount of pressure. Deep Analysis was also spectacular. The gushes were bad though. I did not like this engine, to be fair. I don't think it works particularly well due to the fact that it's just way too short. I have 10 islands, and the Portents and the Wayfarer were not able to basically overcompensate for the fact that I was so short on islands. I was multiple times finding myself trying to get there and I need that island and I'm going to be cooking, but it just didn't happen in time, and it was just super awkward. I just don't have enough. Like a deck like Gro-a-tog has 4 Portent, 4 Opt, and then some more sometimes, like accumulating knowledge and stuff. So it's not the same. Like, it's just not enough to just hope to depend on 3 Portents and like some Wayfarers. It's just not enough. I need more slots if I want to be playing Gush with such a low amount of islands. So that part of the deck I did not like. Meddling Mage was obviously fantastic, and Counterspell was okay, I guess. But the big players were Armageddon, absolutely fantastic, worked really, really well basically every time that I cast it. Mystic Enforcer overperformed as well, and Quiet Spec was very good. Definitely don't think that this is better than either Gro-a-tog or the Oath Quiet Spec deck, but I still think that there is some room to explore. I don't know which other shell I would want to try Quiet Speculation in, but I'm sold. I'm sold on the card. I think it's quite strong. I don't know the context in which I want to be playing it, but I know that I want to be playing more of it. I think that we could do something like, the easy thing would be to just cut Gushes for like AKs or something and have our card advantage some other way. That does not sound great to me though, so I think I would just rather just play a different shell. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for more shells to play Quiet Spec in. This was fun, so even though I don't recommend it specifically, maybe there's some tuning to be done here that can get us on the other side of playability, or maybe just actually being good, which would be ideal. Even like a 4-2 record is not bad. We beat some real decks with this, right? Like we played against Goblins, Landstill. I don't know if it's to be considered a real deck anymore, and definitely I'm not sure I'm ready to put UW Tron in that category either. But we played against some decent decks, so maybe no Gushes, like go 3 Deep Analysis or something. I don't know how much life you can afford to pay. I don't think it's going to be that much. Still, worth thinking about, and nevertheless a lot of fun. So if you just want to cast these cards, they are not that bad together. Let's put it like that. So if you want to play a deck that plays these cards, it's going to be okay. Like, you may not be playing the best deck in the room yet, but you're definitely going to be having a good time, because these are just a lot of fun to play with. So hopefully you enjoyed it. That's going to be it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.